Next point from the transition and inner transition element is in previous video we already discussed construction of the blast furnace. Which type of the reaction takes place in a blast furnace? Here zone of combustion, zone of reduction and zone of slag formation takes place in blast furnace. In this video we will discuss zone of combustion. First of all, what happen in this zone of combustion? Simply carbon get oxidized into carbon monoxide. Here you can take here, this is your carbon, and carbon get oxidized into carbon monoxide. Here carbon plus 1/2 O2, it gives CO. Then carbon monoxide again combustion here again get converted into 2 carbon plus O2 release here in this reaction. Carbon to carbon monoxide, this is the oxidation of carbon. This reaction is highly exothermic. Here heat of reaction for this reaction or enthalpy for the reaction is -2 to, here enthalpy of the reaction is -2 to 0 kilojoule. Here delta H for this reaction is -2 to 0 kilojoule. Reaction is highly exothermic. Here CO act as a reducing agent and as a fuel. In this blast furnace, CO act as a strong reducing agent and as a fuel. Then this is a zone of combustion. Reaction takes place in a blast furnace. The next one is zone of reduction. In this case, what happened in zone of reduction? What happened? This is Fe2O3 plus 3CO. Carbon monoxide is a strong reducing agent. It can form carbon plus oxygen. Here formation of CO. And zone of reduction. Reduction takes place of this iron oxide to respective this carbon monoxide get oxidized into carbon dioxide. Here you can see here balance the equation. There are total 3 plus 3, 6 oxygen there and 3 carbon. That's why 3 CO2 here and 2 Fe here formation separately. You also reduction takes place of this ferric oxide, oxides of iron with the help of carbon. What will get here? 3 carbon and 3 oxygen combined together and formation of 3 moles of carbon monoxide and 2 Fe. Temperature changes taking place. Reaction 500 less of moisture from loss of moisture from ore. म्हणजे 500 ला temperature in Kelvin, changes taking place and reactions there. Temperature for the 500. What changes takes place at various temperature? You can discuss here. In blast furnace, what kind of during the reduction zone reduction, what kind of changes takes place when temperature variation there? At 500 Kelvin temperature, loss of moisture from the ore. Okay, 900 Kelvin la reduction of ore by CO. 900 Kelvin la reduction of ore by CO. What happened here? Reduction of ore by CO. This is your ore and reduction takes place. It get oxidized and it get reduced. All oxygen of this ore get converted into carbon monoxide and it get oxidized into carbon dioxide and here Fe formation. Then at 1200 Kelvin, decomposition of lime. At 1200 temperature Kelvin ला काय होतं? डिकम्पोजिशन ऑफ लाईम. कॅल्शियम कार्बोनेटला हीट केलं तर काय फॉर्म झालं? कॅल्शियम ऑक्साईड प्लस CO2 म्हणजे क्विक लाईम आणि CO2 तयार होईल. 1500 Kelvin temperature la reduction of ore by carbon. What happened in this temperature? At 1500 Kelvin temperature la reduction of ore by carbon, Fe2O3 get reduced. Fe2O3 get reduced. Reduction takes place it get converted into 2Fe, and all 3 oxygen can combine with this 3 carbon and the formation of carbon monoxide. At 2000 Kelvin temperature, what happened? What is the changes taking place here? Fusion of ion slag formation. At that temperature, here fusion of ion and slag formation. So what you will get here? Here this is calcium oxide plus silica. It can combine together and formation of calcium silicate. That means here fusion of all ions and slag formation here with silica. Then this is 12 moles of calcium oxide, aluminium oxide 2 moles. Here formation of calcium aluminate oxide, aluminium oxide. That means here total 12 calcium atom. You can take here common is 4 because aluminium is 4. That's why 4Ca3AlO3 total oxygen here total 12 plus 6. So total oxygen is 18. That's why here 12 and here 6 oxygen. Then next reaction takes place in a blast furnace is zone. Next reaction takes place in blast furnace is zone of slag formation. Slag formation, that means what? Ore contains some gangue particles. Ore contains some gangue particles in the ore is converted into slag with the suitable solvent, or you can use here limestone in the charge, which act as a flux. Limestone decomposes to give quick lime. How can here in this zone of slag formation what happen? जे काही गँगो पार्टिकल्स प्रेझेंट असतील ओर मध्ये तर you can simply adding limestone in the charge. Okay, you want to remove this gangue particle by adding some limestone in the charge, which acts as flux. When ore containing some gangue particles, you wanted to remove these gangue particles. Gangue particles means unwanted impurities, sandy muddy particles. That's why you can simply add limestone in the charge. What happened and which act as when in the ore some gangue particle and which you can add some limestone and which is act as a flux, and then limestone decomposes to give quick lime. That means calcium oxide plus CO2. You can see here in these gangue particles you can simply add calcium carbonate, that means limestone. It get decomposes and formation of quick lime, that means calcium oxide plus CO2. Also this quick lime can combine with silica and formation of slag here. And also here I already discussed slag formation. 12 moles of CaO म्हणजे calcium oxide quick lime can combine with aluminium oxide, and here formation of 4Ca3AlO3 plus 3 moles of O2. In blast furnace there are reaction takes place: zone combustion, zone reduction, then zone of slag formation. Okay, you must remember zone of combustion, here carbon get oxidized into CO, and this is exothermic reaction, large amount मध्ये energy release होती है. Then zone of reduction of ore takes place with the help of carbon monoxide or carbon, and here at the various temperature there is a chemical changes takes place in the reaction. Then third, zone of slag formation. In this case gangue present in the ore is converted to slag. Okay, and a removal of this gangue is effected by adding limestone in the charge, which act as a flux. Limestone decomposes to give quick lime. You can see here in zone of slag formation how can form. You just added in the ore some limestone and it can form a flux, and you can just heat it, calcium carbonate or limestone. It get converted into quick lime and CO2 gas is released, and quick lime can combine with silica and here formation of calcium silicate, and here quicklime plus 2 aluminium oxide, 2 moles of aluminium oxide can combine together and formation of 4Ca3Al O3 plus thrice O2. Zone of fusion 4. Step number 4. Here zone of fusion. Okay, in this zone of fusion, MnO2 and Ca3PO42 present in the iron ore are reduced to manganese and phosphorus. In your iron ore contains manganese oxide and Ca3PO42. Okay, in your iron ore, MnO2 and Ca3PO42 are reduced to manganese and phosphorus. You can simply reduce to manganese and phosphorus. Molten iron is collected. Here are some impurity in your iron ore. Which impurity? MnO2 and Ca3PO42. So you can reduce this impurity to manganese and phosphorus. Molten iron then can collected. In this content pig iron. Pig iron, that means what? Molten iron is a pig iron, rubbed iron, commercial forms of Fe. Fe can form 3 forms: cast, rubbed and steel form. There are 3 forms of commercial forms of iron: cast, rubbed and steel form. And there are some waste gases containing N2CO and CO2 released there. Okay, this is the zone of fusion. There are some impurities present in iron ore, MnO2 there, then Ca3PO42 are reduced to manganese and phosphorus. Molten iron is collected. Pig iron 4% of carbon, waste gases containing N2CO, CO2. Then next, refining. How can refine your molten iron? There are commercial forms of Fe, cast, rubbed and steel. The choice of extraction technique is governed by following factors. Yes, what I am saying. The choice of extraction. Okay, जे काय एक्स्ट्रॅक्शनचा टेक्निक असेल तर कुठल्या फॅक्टर्स वरती डिपेंड करतं. विच टेक्निक्स यू कॅन यूज फॉर द एक्स्ट्रॅक्शन ऑफ प्युअर मेटल फ्रॉम इट्स ओर. First one is nature of ore. What is the nature of ore? Availability of cost and reducing agent. Availability. Second factor is availability of cost and reducing agent. Third factor, availability of hydraulic power. Fourth, purity of product required. 5, value of byproducts. This is the on this factor your choice of extraction technique is totally depends. You must remember the choice of extraction technique is governed by following factors. Which factor? First factor is nature of ore. Second, availability of cost and reducing agent. Third, availability of hydraulic power. Third, purity of product required. Fifth, value of byproducts. All these factors it is the choice of extraction technique is governed. Okay, then what is the difference between cast iron, rubbed and steel iron? Okay, cast iron जे असेल ते हार्ड अँड ब्रिटल असेल, रब्ड असेल व्हेरी सॉफ्ट असेल आणि स्टील neither too hard not too soft. Okay, cast iron contains 4% carbon. In this rubbed iron less than 0.2% carbon, and steel it is carbon contains between 0.2 to 2% carbon there. What is the use of cast iron? It used for making pipes, manufacturing automotive parts, post and pans. Must remember what is the uses of cast iron. Then what is the uses of rubbed iron? Making pipes, and then pipes, bars for stay bolts, engine bolts and rivets there. What is the uses of steel? It is used in a building, infrastructure, tools, ship, automobiles, and in weapons. You can use your steel. This is the reaction already discussed in this video. Reactions in blast furnace, zone of combustion, zone of reduction, zone of slag formation, zone of fusion and refining, and difference between cast draft and steel form of iron. In next video we'll discuss inner transition elements, that means F block elements.